Hey guys, welcome back to Broken Up. So as you see in this video, this is my first look at the cabin. So I've been talking about this cabin for a while. This is the road to get out there. This is the first time ever I went to look at it. As you can tell, this is a beautiful fall day. Cloudy, of course, right? But this is, that's what you get in the fall sometimes. But the leaf colors are phenomenal. The road going out there looks phenomenal. As you can tell, I'm kind of on a dirt road, two-track, I would call it. And I'm heading out there for the first time to see it. So at this point, it was buy or not to buy. That's where I was at. I headed down this road, I followed the signs, and it was quite longer than I expected, actually. I thought from the Google map it was pretty close to the road. Well, it wasn't as close as I thought it was, which is a good thing, to be honest, because I wanted it, a little secluded. So this is the actual property. As soon as you hit the turn, this is what it heads to. So while it looks amazing, it is quite small, so keep that in mind. When I say small, meaning narrow. So it's not this huge acreage or anything, but it was pretty great. So I headed down, I saw a first cabin to the right, and I'll get into that a little more. It is what it is, and then I got to the cabin. This is the inside of the cabin. So this is me walking in the door, seeing what I can see. It is in really rough condition, and it is small. It is 3 rooms, so it is 1, 2, 3. And as you can tell from this cabin, it is abandoned. Everything in there has been left there for good or bad, to be honest. There's old TVs in there, old radios, refrigerators, the ceiling's kind of falling apart. I'm not quite sure what it's made out of. Looks like some old drywall. I couldn't really see up there as much as I wanted to. If I held the camera, I should have got a flashlight. But, it is what it is. So I checked it out as quickly as I could. It was the first day it was actually on the market. And I headed down and I went to see what else was here. This was the porch, kind of a covered porch, if you will. And it was also, everything that was there was left behind. And, not phenomenal condition. There's boards that don't look like they need to be there, but they're holding up the roof potentially. And, there's stuff holding it up also in the main room. So then I went back outside to see what the outside looked like. Now, it's weird looking because it's all green. Everything is either spray painted or there's two-tone paint to it. The leaves, again, look gorgeous, but there's some rot in the corner I noticed. It's kind of this interesting camo feel to this whole place. There's a pipe sticking out on the side. Again, all the wood is not in amazing condition, but it does have electricity. If you guys caught that, yeah, okay. There was the electrical box. I'll be back in a minute. Let me just check this out. That is the first thing. That is the first thing I noticed. And then really I thought, well, let me see the end of the property. And this is the game changer for the property for me. The cabin, as you can tell, is not phenomenal. It needs, I didn't know what it quite needed at this point, but I knew it needed a ton of work, having worked on houses in the past. So there was an old fire pit that looked great, kind of mossed over. There was this deck that I found that was also kind of mossy, but in really good condition compared to the rest of the place. That was also nice to see. And then I start heading down to what you can see is water, right? So I start heading down to water, and this is where I really start to get excited. I like fishing. I haven't done a lot of videos on fishing, but I do fishing more than I do hunting. Probably fishing and camping are my biggest sports. So as I started heading down, this is where I get really excited. The pictures online were not that great because it was the day 1 of the listings, and so they didn't really get a good view of this. But yes, so that caption, "Look at this river," is immediately what's going through my mind. There's this old bench where someone obviously used to sit down there and look at there. Who knows if this was developed, how long ago this cabin was built. There's some houses. This isn't as secluded as I really would have liked. But what you can tell, this river is phenomenal. I mean, honestly, excuse me, I got a bit of a cold. I was really excited though about this river. This is exactly what I was hoping for in a property. And so there were these old steps that used to be steps. They're slanted now. They're a little baked into the mud. That tree, for example, is a dead tree that's been there. No one's taken care of. There's some old fallen logs on the property. But hiking back up to the cabin, it was also great. There's a cabin to the right and there's a cabin to the left. Again, I had this dream, probably we all have, where you just want seclusion. But look, you have to compromise at some point. And so for me, what I started to realize as I was walking through this property is the price point's phenomenal. It is secluded more than, where I live in a city right now. And the foundation of everything was there. The outside deck, the fire pit, the cabin with electricity, even though I didn't really know that electricity wasn't a requirement, but it's a nice to have, right? I can charge a cell phone. I can maybe work there if I want to, spend some more time. And then there is this old water pump. So this clearly looks like it needs some work. I didn't know this was there either. When I looked at the listing, it didn't say anything about this. But this is on the property. And as you can see, it's going to take some pumping. Water comes out of it. Now, it doesn't come out great, and I've tried it since then, but it does come out of it. Final bonus is there is this shed and an outhouse. And so first time I ever see the property, I can't even get into the shed. I don't have keys to it. All I know is that there's some trash around it and whatever. But the outhouse doesn't look too bad. It's got no indoor plumbing. I knew that going into it. It's got some trash around here. There's an old picnic table that's collapsed. But at the end of the day, that is the property, and I am driving away already. So when I talk about this property, I really saw the whole thing in less than probably 20 minutes. The realtor didn't have a ton of time. He didn't look amazingly interested in selling it. He did a great job, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like he was walking, showcasing it to me, because it's not worth a lot of money. And so if I were a realtor and that was my job, I would not put a lot of effort into this either. You kind of go, you go for the money. That's what we all do with work. So, but honestly, what I took away from this visit, and I decided on this in 24 hours, it's worth noting that, is that it's got a structure with electricity. The structure needs a ton of work, but it has a structure. Some stuff may be able to salvage. I thought in the beginning, looking at this, you'll find out in later episodes what was, what wasn't. And then again, walking down to the river sold me. So what I was going to say before is I wanted what I feel we all want. I want 100 acres surrounded by no one, on pristine water, off the grid, no one around me but animals and fish, and just living my best life. But what I realized looking at this property is that's going to cost me quadruple the price. It's in a much farther location from my house, meaning double the time. It's not, it's not 2 hours away. It's 4 hours away or 6 hours away, or could even be 8 hours away. Some people in parts of the country don't even get that chance to own a property, or can't find that remote of a location depending on where you live in the country. If you live in Southern California, for example, it is hard to find that. But anyway, where I'm living, it is possible to find that. It's just how far are you willing to drive? And so I'm going to leave you with this. In 24 hours, I woke up the next day. Before I literally headed out hunting, which is what I was doing the next day, I called and said, I will take this property. I'll put a bid on it. And all they asked is, what are you going to bid on it? And is it cash or is it a loan? And basically that was it. So people always will go into, how do you find these properties? I'll go into that another one. But that, guys, is the first look at the cabin. As found, first day on the market, take it or leave it offer. So thanks for watching. More episodes are coming. My next episode will be about outdoor life, the cabin, stuff like that. So I know I play some video games and stuff like that. I do still love video games, but I love the outdoors more. And so that'll be the next one. But thank you guys for watching and for tuning in. More episodes coming.